Playing senior football is a milestone in itself, but doing it alongside your brother is an even greater achievement. But when you and your brother make one of 4 sets of siblings playing in the same team at the same time, you know you're part of something special. WIN Sports reporter Brent Costello explains.
Right now, history is being created at TSL Club Glenorchy, and it involves 8 players. Matthew and Daniel Joseph, Tyler and Jay Bowden, Jordan and Josh Arnold, and Braden and James Webb are 4 lots of brothers, all playing in the Magpies senior team at the same time.
Obviously it's a great privilege, as growing up as kids you always want to be the boys that play together and always out in the backyard together having a bit of fun, so it's something you always strive for.
We both started out in New Norfolk, and then when it went to State League we both come down here, so I think it was bound to happen eventually.
We're pretty close as a family and stuff, so we've always sort of been around each other, so footy sort of is no different, I suppose.
Keeps Mum happy, and yeah, she always loves coming to footy and watch, so it's good growing up, and then you always try and beat him and try and top him, but yeah, it's good playing in the same team.
Often things can get quite confusing for Aaron Cornelius, with his coach's whiteboard showing so many of the same names.
They're all different sort of people, and there's a couple of funny ones and then a couple more serious ones.
Football has always had strong family connections. After winning a premiership at Brisbane, Chris and Brad Scott are now coaching against each other. The 4 Danaher brothers played in 1 game together at Essendon, but to match anything like Glenorchy's current achievement, you need to wind the clock back to 1933, when Sid and Gordon Coventry, Frank and Len Murphy and Albert and Harry Collier lined up for Collingwood in a match against Geelong. But even then, that was only 3 sets of brothers, not 4.
It's not something you really look at. If it happens, it happens, but it's happened, it's good.
Each of the 4 pairs say they've been close since a young age, sometimes a little too close.
It's like young boys growing up, mate, bit of fun in the backyard, bit of banter. Mum and Dad always have to break us up here and there.
James is 6 years younger than me, so yeah, it was pretty easy for me in the backyard, but that's where he learnt from, so.
If I did anything wrong, he'd normally go off at me and try and make me, I suppose it's made me the better player.
But when push comes to shove, they've always got each other's backs.
He's my younger brother, so always keep an eye over the shoulder and just make sure no one's giving him a hard time. If they do, just let him know I'm there.
That's what he reckons, but that's probably been the other way around a couple of times this year.
Him being a bit smaller, he tends to get knocked about a bit, so he relies on me to come and back him up. So
the older he gets now, he can stick up for himself.
Since Glenorchy's inception, famous pairs of brothers have always been part of the fabric. Robbie and Jim Dykes, Wayne and Graham Fox, and Gary and Peter Barwick are just a few. But all sets of siblings were never playing in the same team at the same time, meaning the current crop of stars are etching their names into Tasmanian football folklore. And come September, they may share another bond, this time as premiership players.
That's what we all aim for. It'd be unreal. It'd be one of the best feelings, and be alongside your brother doing it, it'd be a top cake, wouldn't it?
It'd be a great experience. I suppose with your brother it'd make it that little bit extra special, but we've got a fair few bridges to cross before we can even give ourselves that chance first, so that's what we're concentrating on.
But for now, they're just happy being a band of brothers.
We're all pretty close mates too, which makes it a little bit more better too.
You don't really hear of it, so it's something special.
It's great to have them all about, and they've got a great connection between one another.
Glenorchy's next match is against the Tigers at KG5 on Saturday.
Hopefully we can all continue to keep on playing some pretty good footy and stick together.
Brent Costello, WIN News.